Life is born to die, and no one can deny. Every living soul must taste the death or end time. There is no escape from it. As humans and jinns, they are born with a free will, made these two creatures so interesting. But this free will comes with a very big price to pay at the end, or a big reward at the end of the journey. On May 19, 1885, Odlum became the first person to jump into the East River from the Brooklyn Bridge, which connects Manhattan, New York, and Brooklyn. He helped the government to motivate people to come out of the fear of jumping off the burning buildings than staying inside the buildings when there is a fire, but rather save their lives by jumping off the buildings when firefighters are holding the net for their safe landings. This was a huge success, and Odlum got so much fame, which led him to desire more fame to do these stunts of jumping off from the highest points commercially in order to help himself and his mother financially. What happens next, or what came next, will shock you to the core. Make sure to watch till end. Get your coffee, tea, or snack, as I mine. Let's jump from the highest with safe landings. I am Uzair Sipra, and welcome to another episode of the Shocking Mystery on the Mirror. It all depends on our choices. Because we are born with free will to choose good or evil, this mystery of free will could be solved if we could only understand only one statement from our Creator, which is He is the one who created death and life in order to test which of you is the best indeed. And He is all forgiving, almighty. Odlum was one of the 7 children, only 4 of whom survived childhood. Odlum's elder brother, David Odlum, served under the name Charles Rogers in the 8th Missouri Volunteer Infantry of the Union Army in the American Civil War, and disappeared after the Battle of Shiloh. It was never known whether he had been killed, captured, or deserted. His older sister, Charlotte Smith, was active in the women's rights movement. Here I understand something you might be agree with me. Some people are born special because of the blood they carry in their body. You will only know when you will open their roots. For years, the Odlum family traveled throughout the United States in search of David Odlum, brother of Robert Odlum, but no traces were ever found. Odlum was a great swimmer, and in the late 1870s, he set up a swimming school by the name of Natatorium in Washington, D.C. He earned the title professor in his name as he became a swimming instructor to the sons and the daughters of from many prominent families, including the sons of the presidents Garfield. Robert Odlum was born in Ogdensburg, New York on August 31, 1851. He became something of a local celebrity in Washington for his swimming feats, which included diving into the Potomac River from streamers and diving from 90 feet at the Occoquan Falls in Northern Virginia. He was a straight evil Knievel of his time. In 1881, Odlum's swimming pool started to lose money, so he decided to close it. He then found an employment as a swimming instructor at the Fort Monroe, but the lure of the fame and the glory proved too much to resist, and he had a greater plans to make the most impressive dive from the nation's newest infrastructure. That time, the fire department in America was facing issues, and that was when there was a fire in the building, tall buildings. Many people lost their lives due to unable to get them out of the building when there was a fire. The fire department designed a trampoline shape of like a canvas, a round canvas where many firefighters, they can hold the canvas on the ground and ask people who are stuck in the building during the fire to ask them to jump to save their life. People were so scared to jump and eventually mostly burn and die up in the fire. Odlum found this issue, and with the coordination with the fire department, he decided to show people how to jump and save themselves. Instead, learning from him, people always gathered to entertain his act as a performing artist, which opened a new door for him. That became his profession. He not only started to help himself and also take care of his mother. And this was a very big opening door for him to continue like performing artist, and he started to lose his interest, and he started to stop his coordination with the fire department and the government instead of helping people, because people, they also wanted to see him always how he jumps, and they enjoy his act. So many people, they started to follow this trend and start to make money by jumping off from the tall buildings. When he found that people, they started to lose interest by seeing his performance, because many people, they started this same race, jumping from the tall buildings, showing people, so people, they have many choices which artists they want to watch or they want to enjoy. So he came up with this plan, and he decided to do something that he can come back, that he can get his fans or special audience back on the track, so he can continue with his performing, or the legacy, whatever you can call it. He came up with this idea at the time. Brooklyn Bridge in New York's famous Brooklyn Bridge was officially opened on May 24, 1883 by the President Chester A. Arthur, and has since become an instantly recognizable feature of the city. Robert Odlum stunts brought him so much fame, where he started to risk his life to entertain his fans and to support his family. And on the other hand, the state and the police didn't want this, because they wanted to stop this trend. They had this fear, and they were scared if people, they jump from the tall buildings, they can, some people, they can die. One small mistake can lose their life. So they decided to ban all these jumps. Eventually it became illegal to jump from the highest points like tall buildings or bridges. So Robert knew this has become illegal, so he came up with this plan. So he decided to jump from the Brooklyn Bridge, even though he knew this has become illegal. So on the day of jump, police were alerted to a suspicious character in the cab, which was parked up on the bridge. When people, they were already gathered, as Robert Odlum with his special suit came out of the horse carriage, and the crowd cheered, and the excitement was rising, and the police had an eye on Robert, so they were waiting for this time to stop him from the dangerous act he was about to do. Without wasting any moment, police arrested Robert Odlum, and people who were there to see him jumping off the bridge to make the world record, seeing Robert is being arrested, became very angry and aggressive. But then something happened, shocked the police. Another horse carriage on a distance, where police needed much time and efforts to reach there, arrived and opened the door. This carriage stopped there, opened the door. Another man came out of with the same suit and waved to the crowd, and it was the real Robert. The one police arrested was a decoy arranged by Robert himself, as he knew police wouldn't or would never let him jump off the bridge. So he arranged his double or actor to distract or divert police attention to buy the time to do his stunts to make this world record. Beneath the core, you must understand, he just broke the code of his fame and living as a daredevil. Below, on the river, was a tugboat full of more friends to support him, and they were there if in case he has an emergency. He made a quick dash over the railing where he made his leap of death at 5:35 p.m. I know when you are in such a hurry or rush, you must make some mistakes which can lead you to undesired points. Now, here is something you should understand as a stuntman or performer in a circus, or people that do stunts in the movies. When you jump from the heights or highest points, you must calculate every single portion of your body and the movements. Your body gesture before the jump, angle, then very importantly, calculate the timing combined with the distance of landing to make sure you hit the water in a way to cut through to avoid any injuries. If you landed as a flat body on still water, it will be like you are hitting a concrete or cement slab or on a big cube of the solid flat metal. It is said that Odlum hit the freezing water at approximately 60 miles, which is 90 kilometers an hour. When he was in the middle of the distance, a strong wind hit his body, and his body somehow lost the balance. Odlum fell in the water sideways, and it was a big disaster. Odlum eventually died at 6:18 p.m. from the internal injuries. Looked like the whole internal was shattered. Robert Odlum's mother and sister placed the blame for his death on Boyton, who was Odlum's close friend, very close friend, and also was known as a daredevil. They claimed he persuaded Odlum to take the death plunge from the Brooklyn Bridge. Boyton refuted these claims and published an open letter to the Mrs. Odlum in the New York Times denying any involvement in her son's death. So this was the story for today, and if you like this kind of mysterious, dark, horror, true crimes, and some movie reviews, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have your own story, you can send it to me to my Instagram, which is Uzad.Sipra. And as always, please take care of yourself and your surroundings. I am Uzad Sipra. Until next time.